How's it going, everyone? Mike here. Today we're going to talk about Amazon ad campaigns. Especially, this is directly related to one of my merch by Amazon products, and how I'm running this ad is through the merch by Amazon platform. So of course, if you're, I think if you're at a higher tier, you're automatically given the option to run ads. I'm not actually sure what it is for lower tiers and all the details behind it, but I've been receiving a lot of questions about, why don't you run ads? When you do run ads, what does it look like? What's the success rate? So we're going to talk about that. I'm actually going to take my time with this because I don't want to rush through it and be thinking about the length of the video, because I actually want to hit all the points here, because this is a really important topic, and I think a lot of people might have the I don't want to say wrong understanding, but they don't completely understand how ads work, what would be considered a successful ad campaign, and how much money can you actually make from running an ad, right? The common, I would say, misconception is that people think that you can invest $10 into an ad and make $1,000. That's not the case. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about one of my campaigns. As you can see here, I've left the name because it really doesn't give away the product or anything. It is related to the travel shirt, and as you can see here, it's Paris, France. So it is related to a simple t-shirt. It's a standard t-shirt that I'm running, and the theme is Paris, France travel t-shirt. So we're going to look at the lifetime of an ad that I ran here. Starting in November of 2020, and then I gave it a break for about 5 months here, and then now I'm back on after I had a few discussions with a few people watching this channel, and they were saying, run ads, man, get your numbers up. That's how it's done. So this is a nice little experiment. We'll talk about the results. First of all, before we get into these numbers, let's talk about and this is an article from, I want to give these guys credit. It's Nozzle, website Nozzle, I guess, .ai. And basically, it's an article on what's a good return on ad spend on Amazon. And we won't go through the whole article, but basically there's an example here about what you should expect. So first of all, the success is measured based on, as you can see here, ROAS, which is return on ad spend. And according to their research, this research here by AdBadger, the success rate for Google ads is about 2%. On Amazon, their users saw an average conversion rate of about 9.5% for sponsored product ads. 9.5%. We have to be very careful because this is based on categories. So certain categories, for example, will have a much higher return on ad spend than maybe clothing or other things. And they go actually into this. Let me just show you here. They go into this in a little more detail. So it says here the average return on ad spend on Amazon about three times. This will change based on your industry, strategies, and goals. For example, electronics has around 9 times, whereas toys and games have about 4.5, right? So it all depends on the category and the product and all that kind of stuff. But the basic, summary here is that you want your return on ad spend to be as high as possible. And the goal here is, you want to go about 3 to 4 or 5 times. So the example that I wanted to look at here is, how do you calculate ROAS and how is it different from, it doesn't matter. What we're going to look at is the first example. If you generate $1,000 in sales from $250 of ad spent, that means you spend $250 and you have $1,000 in sales. That would be the return on ad spend of $4. So basically it's saying for every dollar that you spend, you've made $4 or 400%. If you have 250 It's the same. So this is the same thing. It's just going the other way, backwards. So this is what we're looking at. We're going to look at that, and actually Amazon does that calculation for you. So because I've gone into that and looking at my return on ad spend, which is about 4.92, this would actually be considered a successful ad campaign, right? We don't have to look at this because, this number would probably be higher if I was running the ads continuously, but this is perfect for our lesson here, our example. So let's look at the numbers, and then we'll dig into some of these details. The amount spent, $235.88. So that's in its entirety. Sales generated $1,159.39. Return on ad spent is, as I said, 4.92. Impressions, 100,053,451. This is still delivering, and as you can see here, my daily budget is $5 and there is no end date. I'm just letting this run right now. The success of ads like this, of these campaigns, increases as time goes on because the Amazon algorithm and their AI and everything is actually learning, and it's improving ads and ad success as time goes on, especially when you have automatic targeting. So that's the setting here. I've run these ads where I've put in keywords, and I've run these ads where Amazon takes care of everything, and their success rate, their return on ad spend has actually been better than mine. So that's why I'm doing this. Let's actually, I wonder if it makes sense to do this calculation now. My profit from each sale is $4.48. So let's take that number into consideration. $4.48. As you can see here, the number of orders that I've received throughout this campaign is 58. Times 58. So the profit margin of each sale times the number of sales, this is the amount. $259.84 have been generated of profits by getting these 58 sales. Okay, so this is the profit margin. Now let's look at the expenses. The expenses are right here. This is spent. $235.88 for the total of $23.96. This is the actual profit of this whole campaign. And this is where you now ask yourself, is this good enough for you? By every definition, this is a successful ad campaign. The return on ad spent is about 5, which is great. I mean, for any kind of a successful ad campaign, you should not be expecting much more unless you're really tweaking this and perfecting it, and where you've run ads for a while. So like I said, by every definition, this is successful. There are almost daily sales, and I mean the ad is doing its thing. $235 spent, so I'm getting about 10% return in of my investment. So if I was to spend, for example, $2,350, I would be getting $239. Now, for this product specifically, for this ad, that doesn't make sense because my ads don't even run out on daily basis, even when I'm doing $5. There are certain days when the money does run out, so there's a lot more activity. So even if I was to bump this up to any number, I could go up to $7, $10 would be too much. Just simply, there isn't that much need for this product. So this is basically where you want to be. I guess I can go up to, like I said, $7 or $10. But basically what I'm trying to say is if I did increase this to $50, the demand for this product isn't there to generate those types of sales. Because if somebody's saying, hey, so why don't you spend $2,000 and get, $230 in profits? Well, you can do that with other products. With this one, it really doesn't make sense, like I said, because the demand is not there. So we're kind of at our max earning for this product. Now, I was telling people, because I guess like I said, the understanding is you run ads, you're successful. Absolutely. But here's the thing, you have to budget these things in. Are you comfortable running 10 ads like this on a monthly basis? And do you have $2,000-$3,000 in your budget for these ads that you're going to pay? And then, for example, are you a good businessman where you're going to take your profits for merch and pay these ads right away? Or are you going to, put this on your credit card or something like that and then, for example, collect the profits and you're going to go into a minus? So you have to be very careful with this, especially if you're starting out, because ads are not the kind of like the magical solution to success. Like they're great. And of course, if I ran 10 or 50 of these ads, now this starts adding up, right? And especially if we're talking about different products, where the demand is higher. But again, then you have to decide what is your ad budget, because like every company there, are you going to put in $10 a day, or are you going to put in $100 a day? Because, for example, if you put in $100 a day, we're talking, look at this, $3,000 a month. Now you're going to be spending on ads, to generate a certain percentage. This would be, $300. So do you have that kind of money to play around with this? And when people who are in tiers 10 or 100 or 500, or like I said, just starting out, when you think that running that one ad or something like that will completely change your life, think twice, because like I said, unless you have that money set aside that you can play around with, and most people are in this business to make money, right? So somebody doesn't have $10,000 put aside where they're saying, hey, I'm going to be spending $10,000 every month to generate $1,000. Then the reality is you're going to either get organic sales, or you're going to be working on those keywords, titles, brand names, and all that kind of stuff, because you have to be conscious of the budget. So for me, for example, even if it was $250 a month, it's not a big deal. I do have that money. But the reason I've been telling people over the last couple of months that I'm very hesitant with ads, and I don't want to say that I'm hesitant with ads. I'm not. I'm just saying I'm hesitant with running random ads is because this is not always the case. It takes a few months to get to this point. Especially if you're not going with automatic targeting, and people sometimes get it wrong, right? Because you could be using certain keywords, search terms that people don't use, and then you're going to be losing money. Like, for example, even after spending $235, you wouldn't make that 20, 23 or whatever it was. You would be losing money. So that's why I'm saying running ads is something that you actually have to get educated on. Do not let anyone tell you that it's easy, that you just put an ad up and you're going to get sales. You might, but again, the profit margin is not what people think. You don't just simply make 10 times more money. Even like looking at this, you'd be like, oh my God, this is amazing. There's a $1,100 in sales. Yep. But then the product cost, and then the ad cost, and then you look at your actual profits, and out of all these sales, you get under $30 of actual profits. So again, if you do have a $10, $20, $30,000 that you want to play around with on a monthly basis, then yeah, you're gonna really pump these numbers up, and then the ratio and the percentage of your profits will add up, and it will become a significant amount. right? So when you see people, for example, online saying, hey, I'm running ads, trust me, they have a lot of money and they have a lot of knowledge actually running these ads, because this isn't just kind of like a hit and miss random keyword ad. This is a very, you have to have a strategic plan. You really have to kind of have a good product, and there are a lot of things that go into it. Let's look at the placements here. So again, this is the same campaign. The three placement options here, as you can see here, is top of search, product page, and then rest of search. And as you can see here, the numbers are completely different. So top of search on the first page, there have been 6,000 impressions. So impressions are basically when, as you can see here, the number of times the ads were displayed. So that just means that the Amazon, when somebody's looking for, Paris, France travel T-shirt or whatever, 6,000 times they've placed my product at the top of the search, and that generated 137 clicks. And click-through rate, this is actually like when, let's read it just for the official definition. Click-through rate is the ratio of how often shoppers click on your product ad when displayed. This is calculated as clicks divided by impressions. So impressions, basically, the ad is placed there, and then the click-through rate is actually the percentage of how many times people actually click on it. So out of every 100 times that my ad was shown, 2.27 times people have actually clicked on it. The other, 97% of the time, people just ignored it. Now, look at this, product pages, 107,000. So these numbers are huge, but look at the click-through rate, a huge difference, right? And it has actually generated the same number of orders. So you can ask yourself, where do I want to actually place these? And so this is when I'm talking about tweaking, when I'm talking about perfecting certain things. Maybe I can just decide to go with product pages. Maybe I'll just go with the rest of it. So there's a lot that you have to consider, right? At no point do I want anybody watching this to think, as some people might give you the impression that this is easy. Every time I've talked about, success on Amazon and actually working hard and doing that, I really want people to understand that this is running a business. We're just talking about, one ad campaign. And I've been talking right now for 17, 18 minutes about just some of the things that we can look at. There's so many other things that go into this, right? And then the rest of the search here, we'll jump right into these numbers, is 40,000. Click-through rate is 0.61, and then as you can see here, this generated 26 orders. So again, you can do the math. You can divide these numbers and see, for example, what actually makes sense for you, what you want to run. Because, for example, getting $360 in sales by spending $66 might be much more worth it than spending $112 getting $493 in sales. So there's a lot, as you can see here. Even return on ad spend, like it's much higher for these two than this one. So do I just completely turn this one off? That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of things that go into consideration. So in summary, what I can say about running ads, my mind has not changed since a month ago or 2 months ago when I was not running ads. When I was telling people I'm not running ads simply because I want to do it right. Because, for example, if I can get this up to 7-8%, and especially for a product that will sell maybe 100 a day, then we're talking about some real money, right? If we're talking about running ads on random products and all that kind of stuff, we can do that and the money will add up. But then, is all of this work, and there's not a lot of work, but is this work worth the $23 that you're going to make over, a couple of months? And that was my whole point. Do I really want to spend, for example, hours and hours looking at this data, putting the ads together, actually running the ads, when I can simply be designing, when I can be listing, when I can be doing other things that will get the number of products up. And that's one of those things, like, where do you see the value in your time? Because some people will say, you know what, I'm going to put up 10 products, I'm going to put up 100 products and spend, $10,000 on ads. Perfect. That's your strategy. That's what works. What I'm saying is, hey, maybe, let's say if all of this work took about 4 hours, which it didn't, of course it didn't, right? But again, actually just looking at this information and kind of like looking which words do I want to get rid of, where do I want to place the ads, time adds up. And I say, well, I've generated $23 in that time. Now, would it be more worth my time actually listing products? And in 4 hours, I could have, for example, designed a number of things. I could have done keyword research. I could have organized my spreadsheets for Merch Titans automation. So that was my whole point. When people say run some ads, the return on investment, and I'm just not talking about money, I'm talking about time. If you're not getting a product that will sell in extremely high numbers, then it's not worth my time. So for example, this one, I'm going to let it run. To me, it doesn't matter. Like, I'll spend, what would this be? Let's do quick math. 30 times 5. So my budget here is $150 a month. I don't care. That's fine. Let it run. And then, every 2 months, I'm going to collect my $25. And maybe this will increase over time, or maybe I'll increase the budget and spend the, $300 to get the $30. So every month that kind, and I can do that 10 times, and my budget will be $1,500 a month, and that's still within a manageable amount. But that's what I'm saying. Like, is that when it comes to time, is that where I want to be, or do I want to find a product that will sell, like I said, 50 or 100 a day, and then pump money into that? But again, we're going to be talking about completely different budgets, daily budgets and monthly budgets, and then the whole equation is changed. So there we go. We've looked at the one campaign that's considered a successful campaign. But again, the point with this channel is to be real with you guys. At no point do I want you to think that you put an ad up and the money's coming in. Of course it's coming in. Look at this, $1,100 in sales. That's awesome, right? Everybody would be like, hey, that generated 58 sales. Awesome. I agree. For the total profits of $23 after you take everything into consideration. So that's the reality. That's what I want to talk about on this channel, because at no point is this going to be easy. Making money is not easy. Making money through Merch by Amazon is not easy, right? You're gonna get lucky. You're gonna get it right a couple of times. You're gonna get generate 50 sales a day. But again, you're gonna be at a certain tier. You're gonna be at a tier 100,000, 200,000, right? And it's different for everybody. So basically, what I want to do here is show you my experience. I like I said, I want to do this right, and I always want to be honest with you guys and completely transparent, because there's a lot of misinformation out there where people think, hey man, I'm gonna be quitting my job in 6 months. I just got approved for Merch by Amazon. That is not the case for most people. I don't want to discourage anyone, because the whole point of this channel is to motivate people and to do this right. But again, let's be real here. And these are real numbers. So I'm going to leave it here. Thank you guys for watching. Talk about your success stories. Leave a comment, because my experience is unique and yours might be very different. And people that are watching these videos love to read about other people's experiences and what they're going through. And let's share that information. It's helpful. Anyways, thank you guys. I'll talk to you soon.